Hi, this is Eli Kranzberg, and welcome to this series on Revoice Pro 5 from SynchroArts. We're going to take a fresh look at this from the ground up, and if you're new to Revoice Pro, a couple of important things to understand. First, it works as a standalone audio processing program alongside of your DAW, so it's not a plugin that appears directly in your DAW and does the work in there. Instead, we have plugins in your DAW that are used to link to it, and it works outside of your DAW as a standalone application. And second thing is, it works a little bit differently in each DAW. We're going to be focusing primarily in this series on Logic Pro, Pro Tools, and Studio One, but those cover all the major formats that Revoice Pro 5 works in. So you'll be good in other DAWs as well that use either VST or audio unit formats. And it works in ARA, the audio random access mode, or in non-ARA formats as well. Now, Revoice Pro 5 is designed to work primarily with monophonic vocals. It's a vocal workshop plugin that does a variety of tasks useful for vocals, but it can also be used on monophonic instruments, and maybe we'll take a look at that later in the series. Now, once you've got your audio into Revoice Pro 5, there's three broad categories of actions or tasks or functions that you can use it for. First is what's called match, and this used to be called APT, or Audio Performance Transfer. So match functions are great when you're working with multiple vocal tracks. It automatically gives a target audio, your dub track, the selected timing, pitch, and or loudness characteristics of a guide audio signal. So for example, you can bring in a lead vocal and a bunch of harmonies, and you can automatically conform the timing and tuning so that they match the lead. And what's great is if you then decide to make a change in the lead in either the tuning or pitch or timing of one of the notes, all of the corrected tracks will follow. Maybe you're doing some punch-in recording for some harmonies and you get some great takes, but the timing isn't exactly right. You can get it to match the lead or the other harmonies easily. Now, we can also use Revoice Pro to create realistic double tracks. So very quick and intuitive, fantastic sounding natural doubles are a click or two away. And Adjust, which used to be called Warp, provides fast and easy to use manual and automatic tools to change the time and pitch of voice or monophonic instrument recordings. So this is the forensic way of going in deep, where you can use some macro tools to tune your vocals, and they work very well. Often you don't need any more adjustments than that. But you can also go in and make very fine micro adjustments to things like the pitch drift, the vibrato, the pitch trace, the timing, and adjust the nuances of each note separately. Now, in this first video, I just want to point out a couple of conventions in Revoice Pro 5, and this is the same regardless of what DAW you're using. Once you have your audio in Revoice Pro, you can use on Mac Command and Option to get a kind of dynamic scrolling where you can drag left and right and up and down to zoom both horizontally and vertically, all with one kind of broad gesture. And on Windows, that's Alt and Control. Now you can also use Command and Shift to move the display, again, up or down. So this is kind of a scrolling function rather than zooming. And on Windows, that's Shift and Control. Now another convention is that we can click and drag in the top here to create a zone to loop the same area over and over, which is great when you want to focus in on minute adjustments. And you can right-click for a contextual menu to get rid of it. We can click this to auto zoom individual tracks to full height, again, which is great for when you're in the adjust mode. And we can freely resize this panel on the left so that longer track names are easily visible. And same thing on the right, we can resize and even adjust to different sections within the panel. So join me in the next video as we get started taking a deep dive into Revoice Pro 5.